Hello everyone. Today in this video, I'll be talking about what is meant by a regression. So earlier I have already explained about what is meant by classification, wherein I have given you a perfect example of spam filter. It usually predicts a new instance, whether it belongs to a spam category or it belongs to a ham category. So this is a perfect example of classification. But now here I'm going to explain what is a regression. Regression is very much simple. See, here Here you will only categorize, you will only classify if this is a new instance, okay, you doesn't have any idea about this new instance, you will classify whether this should go this way or whether it should go this way. It only classifies, okay. Here you won't predict any particular value, but here you will predict a particular number, particular value or a number. Here you will only predict a particular value or a number. In the sense, for example, see here, I have my few columns here. For example, here I have my x1, x2, x3, okay, and this is my y. So these are all my columns. Okay, so here you will be given x1 column, x2 column, x3 column. Okay, based on these three columns, you need to predict the value of y. Okay, so here y is not at all a categorical variable, it's a continuous variable. Here I'm saying y is the continuous variable. What is meant by continuous variable? You already know this thing, we have already discussed in the statistics class. Continuous variable is nothing but a number. It's a number. Whenever you are predicting a number, that comes under a continuous variable, okay. But whenever you are predicting, whenever you are classifying it, whether it belongs to this category or that category, this becomes a categorical variable. So spam filter example comes under categorical variable. Here our output variable is categorical variable, but here in the regression our output variable is continuous variable. I'll give you a perfect example so that you can understand it better. Okay, so I'll tell you now. For example, I have a few columns. For example, mileage, and car age, HP, horsepower. Okay, so based on these three variables we need to predict the car price. Based on these variables we need to predict the car price. Why have I written this car price in a different color? Because it's my output variable, in the sense it is my dependent variable. Okay, but these three are my independent variables, in the sense input variables. For example, here mileage, in the sense it will be some kind of maybe um, maybe 50 kilometer per hour or something, some kind of value will be there. Here also uh, maybe 25 kilometer per hour and 80 kilometer per hour. So these are all the mileage, okay. And car age, in the sense what is the age of the car? I mean, how long have you been using that car? For example, maybe since 8 years, maybe 7, 2 years, like this. Horsepower, maybe 25.6, 37.8, 48.2, something like that. Okay, and here the car price is maybe 2 lakhs, and here the car price is maybe 4 lakhs, and here the car price is maybe 7 lakhs or 8 lakhs. Okay, so here this is the past data. Okay, here we have only three I mean three records. One record, second record, this is the third record. Okay, for example, we have fourth record. Okay, we have fourth record, and we have this fourth record. For the fourth record, we have this mileage. He has given the mileage, some kind of mileage. He has, for example, for the fourth record, maybe some 89.6 is the mileage, and car age is only 7 months. Yeah. In the sense, I'm writing 0.7 years. Okay, and horsepower is maybe uh, maybe 58. Okay, and what is the car price? This is unknown, so we need to predict that based on these three. How can we predict that? Based on the past data, based on these three past records, we need to predict the coming unknown record car price. Okay, so this comes under the topic that is regression. So this is nothing but regression. Here I'll give you what are the famous regression algorithms, so that you can, so that you'll know better. For example, when it comes to the regression algorithms, so I'm writing in a shortcut, regression algorithms. Okay, so the first one is maybe linear regression. The second one is logistic regression. Okay, so these are the two famous regression algorithms. So here, what I'm gonna say is some regression algorithms, some regression algorithms can also be used, for classification. Some regression algorithms can also be used for classification purposes. So what is that? Example is nothing but this particular logistic regression. This can only, this can also be used for classification. Okay, we only use classification mainly for the we only use logistic regression mainly for the classification purpose. Okay, so how to, in the sense, what is, classification in the sense, how can we use this? Here, we won't classify it as like whether it belongs to spam category or it belongs to ham category. No, it is not the scenario here. When it comes to logistic regression, we'll only be predicting the probability of that record that belongs to spam or ham. For example, I'll tell you. Okay. So now here, just imagine this is the case. And so here I'm saying this is the spam category. Okay. And this is the ham category. Okay. This is my threshold. Okay. So all the records that are lying to this line here, that is this particular uh, these records are actually belonging to ham category, and all the records that are actually lying towards this line are actually belonging to spam category. Okay. So for example, I have a new record that has been entered into my data. For example, this data, maybe this one. Okay. Okay. For example, I have this record here. I want to classify whether this record belongs to this category or whether this record belongs to ham category. I want to know that. For that reason, we can easily use logistic regression. What it usually does is it usually predicts the probability. For example, it says it predicts the probability. Like I'll tell you. So there is some 80% chance that this record may belong to spam category. Okay. It usually predicts like this 80%. So there is 80% chance that this record may belong to spam category. Or it will usually say there is a 20% or maybe there is a 30% chance that this record belongs to ham category. So it usually does the job by predicting the probabilities. Here 80% is nothing but the probability and 30% is also nothing but the probability. So likewise, it usually predicts the probability here. Okay. So this is the scenario. But what is usually a linear, a regression here? How does the graph of the, regression usually look like? For example, I'll tell you. Okay. So this is our x-axis and y-axis. So here we have certain points. For example, we have certain points. So likewise, we have certain records. Okay. And so x-axis is maybe we have uh, mileage. Okay. For example, x-axis is nothing but we have here mileage feature. This is the mileage column, and we are actually predicting the car speed, car price. Okay. So based on the mileage, we are actually predicting the car price here. Okay. So for example, we have got a new record. For example, here we have got a new record. Okay. This is our new record. So we need to, sorry, we have got a new record like this. Okay. We have got a new record like this. So now, for this particular new record of mileage, we need to predict the car price. So how to do that? We just usually project it towards the car price. See, like this. After projecting it, it usually meets at a particular point, right? So this would be the, I'll tell you. So the point where this X and Y are actually meeting, that will be the car price of that particular record. So this would be the car price. Okay. So for this particular mileage, wherever the X and Y are meeting at that particular point, you just need to project the axis towards to the car price. And that should be the exact car price that we want to predict. So this comes under the regression graph. So likewise, you can easily predict the whatever may be the number that we want to predict. Okay. Yeah, so this is it. I'll see you in the next video.